Hello, my loves. Tonight we're going to read Julia's House Goes Home. Julia's house roamed the high hills looking for a home. So when Julia saw the perfect spot glittering in the distance, she told her creatures, "That's where we're going." All the creatures cheered. But the path from the high hills to the valley was rocky and rough. "Be careful," shouted Julia, but it was too late. Oh no. Trip, snap. Julia's house rolled away without Julia. Oh, goodbye, house. Down, down, down she fell. When Julia sat up, she was in a deep, dark place. She had nothing left but the sign from her front door. But there was a tunnel ahead, so she followed that. Just as Julia was getting really lonely, a familiar face appeared in the dark. It was Patched Up Kitty. "Come on," said Julia. "Let's go find our house." The cave opened out onto a shadowy wood. The house had surely come this way. Goblins and Folletti were scattered about. "Follow me," called Julia. "We're off to find our house." They walked on until a sweet voice cut through the gloom. It was a unicorn. "I found your mermaid," it said. The mermaid asked if the unicorn could come along. Julia looked at her sign, the one that meant "Welcome for all lost creatures." "We'll make room," she said. The path of the house led through the gates of a graveyard. The ghosts were there, having drifted from the house as it rolled, with a host of specters and shades. "We'll make room," said Julia. "Just follow me." On and on they marched, and everywhere was the same. Old friend found, and new faces joining in. There were more lost creatures in the world than Julia had ever imagined, and they all saw her sign and followed. "We'll make room," she told them all, but she began to wonder. When they stopped to rest, the creatures talked about tea and toast and warm beds for everyone. Julia sat apart, wondering, turned to worry. "There won't be enough room," she said to herself. But she still led them on until, bump, Julia looked down at the battered knob from her front door, and she knew she had to tell them. "Attention, please," Julia called. The creatures all looked up at her with their teeth and their talons and their horns. Julia took a deep breath. "I have something to say," she began. "It's about the house." But before she could continue, the ground began to shake. "Did someone say house?" A voice rumbled. It was a mountain king, the largest of all the trolls. "A house rolled across my head and just over that hill," it said. "Wasn't much left of it, though." Poor Julia's house. I hope they're going to find it in one piece. "Hooray!" the creatures cheered. "We're almost there. Keep going." Julia gathered up her sign and climbed the last hill. And there it was, the perfect spot. It was the very spot she'd seen glimmering in the distance. Except... It wasn't perfect. What Julia had seen was nothing but the sun glinting off the scraps in a junkyard. And there was nothing left of Julia's house but the front door. Oh, no. What's Julia gonna do? Julia put the doorknob back on her door, and she put down her sign, the one that meant welcome all. She turned to the creatures who had followed her on the long march across the countryside. "I'm sorry," she said. "I let you down." "Let us down," they said. "Never. We have everything we need." The creatures set to work. They worked for a long, long time, all together. And they made a new home with room for everyone. Wow, that looks like a great place to live. Would you guys live there? With the ghosts and the ghouls and the mermaids and the unicorns and patched up Kitty? They called it Julia's Town. The end. Good night, my little loves. I hope you have the sweetest of dreams. I love you so much.